Okay, so now I'm going to begin. I'm going to start by sharing some things on our website. And I'm also going to be able to show you today how some of these apps look on an iPhone. Unfortunately, I don't have all devices to share with you today, but we'll get an opportunity to see how it looks to check out and use ebooks on a real iPhone. So first, I'm going to share my screen with you. And just wanted to let you know that today we will be taking questions, but we won't be taking questions until the break. So we'll be breaking periodically to answer any questions that you might have. So first I wanted to show you our website. So the Los Angeles Public Library website is on your library card, or is also available at lapl.org. Right now, the website is a little bit different because it's modified for the materials you're most likely to need while you are at home. You can still search the library catalog. So if there's a particular book you're looking for, you would click up here and you would search for it. So one example might be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So you can look for ebooks on the regular catalog if you'd like. You'll see a list here not only of books, but also the DVD recording, since this book was made into a movie, as well as this case, it's an audio cassette, or even the music CD that's the original motion picture soundtrack from the film. If you just want to see what's available as an ebook, you can see on the left-hand side, you can limit it by format and look only at the ebooks. These are all of the options that come up under ebook. You can see not all of them are the actual ebook for Harry Potter, the first book. It's also giving us the second book, some different summaries or literature guides. But this first one is the ebook. And right now it's always available. So if you click where it says download, it's going to ask you for your library card information. I'm not going to do that now, but it will allow you to connect directly and download it, so you can download that. So that's one way that you can look for ebooks. So right now I'm just going to stop my share and see if we have any questions in the chat or any questions. I'm going to go ahead and allow people, if you want to, you can unmute yourself and ask a question about searching for books using the online catalog. Okay, if nobody has any questions, then we can go on to the kind of more interesting part, which is exploring how to download these audiobooks and ebooks to a device like a tablet or your phone. So now I'm going to go back again and share my screen with you. So going back to our main page. Right now, there's a lot of interest in using ebooks because obviously with the libraries closed, you can't come in and get a physical book. So the library has modified its front page so you can check out all of the information and materials that are now available to use from your home. So if you don't have a library card, I do recommend getting an e-card. You can easily register for one here. I'm not going to go over that in depth today. If you need help with this, you can speak to your tutor, or you can talk to a literacy coordinator, or you can also, if you go all the way down here, you can also ask a librarian. They are answering email questions. So today I'm mostly going to focus on what you can find under ebooks and audiobooks. In particular, I want to make sure I show you the Libby app. That's the one that everybody gets really excited about. And once they see what's available, or when you see what's available, maybe you'll figure out why. So we have a lot of different options under ebooks, audiobooks, and if you didn't know, we also have comic books available. But today, I'm mostly going to focus on Overdrive and Libby. That's the biggest one and the most popular one. And then if we have time, I'll also move on to show you Hoopla. So Overdrive and Libby. So when you click on this, it opens up and it gives you a brief description. So if you want to go ahead and explore these other options after our webinar, I really encourage you to do that. What's really great about the website is it has embedded videos right here. So if you want to learn how to use any of these other vendors or any of these other resources, you can easily do that and learn how just by clicking the link. It also can connect you directly to the mobile apps. So if you're already on your phone, you can go directly to download the specific app you will need by clicking this link for Apple or iPhones, for Android, and then if you're on Windows. So it really is compatible with most devices. So I thought I would show you this video. Well, you'll be able to hear it.
Overdrive offers you 2 ways to download your library loans, Overdrive and Libby. Overdrive connects you to the library's digital collection in a web browser or Kindle device. And the Libby app lets you borrow, download, and read a new book on an Android or iOS device. Libby streamlines the checkout process, makes shelf management a snap, and provides a sleek e-reading experience. Overdrive and Libby also sync progress across all devices, so you can pick up where you left off no matter the device you're on. With a simplified book borrowing process, you have more time to dive into your next favorite book. So what are you waiting for? Your next literary adventure is here.
So that was just a brief video to show you, it's gonna play again. A brief video to show you some of the features of Libby, and why I think it's so great is that you can do all sorts of things from your phone and then read it on other devices as well. Today, I'm just going to show you how to start by getting it onto either your tablet or your phone. If you ever need extra help, you can always come back to this page. There's a great Learn How tab. Can you see on the right-hand side how it says Learn How and sideways on a blue tab? If you click it, it will pop open a screen that has helpful videos for all of the different resources that the library has available for people who have a library card. So if you ever want to come back and practice language skills using Mango Languages, you can learn more by clicking the link and viewing the video. You can see there's the Libby video we just watched, as well as a bunch of other videos on all sorts of resources. So that's a great way to get help if you need it. So before we hop in and I show you how this works on my phone, I thought I would see if any of you guys have questions. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and see if we have any questions. I see Judy, I think it's Judy S. has a question. You're unmuted, Judy.
So basically, if you don't have a Kindle, then you can use your phone.
Yes, you can use your phone. You don't have to have a Kindle to download and read ebooks on your phone.
How about you reading it on a laptop? No.
I don't do that very often, so I don't have as much expertise.
I wouldn't think so.
But I believe you can. I haven't tested that myself.
Okay, thanks.
Are there any other questions? You can either type them into the chat, or if your video is enabled, you can also raise your hand and we'll make sure that you are muted.
Sorry, question about what?
About anything that we've discussed so far.
Okay.
If you don't, that's fine. It's been pretty basic so far. So we're going to get into the next
You,
part. I'm going to actually show you my phone screen. I tested it out and I was able to share the screen of my phone. So I'm going to try that now. Ready?
so you told us how we can use from the LA Public Library site to have ebooks and audiobooks, yeah?
Yes. So I'll share this
Okay.
one more time. So just in case you missed it, if you aren't sure, you can go to our website, lapl.org. You can do this on your phone if you want to. And when you click on this link here that says ebooks, scroll right down and click this link that says ebooks and audiobooks on the left-hand side under the picture of the books. It will take you here. And what you'll want to do is click the links below where it says mobile apps. If you are on an iPhone, you'll want to click the Apple, and it will take you to the location where you then can download the Libby app. And I'll show you in a moment what the Libby app looks like once it's on your phone. Okay, so I'm going to show you that now. So now you should be seeing my phone. So in the upper left-hand corner, do you see that app? That's supposed to look like a little head reading a book. So that's what the app looks like when you download it. And then I'm going to open it up. So you can explore all of these different options. The Libby app will suggest different books that are already popular. And if you only want to look at things that are available now, you can do that. One thing that a lot of people don't understand about Libby or ebooks is that just because it's an ebook, it doesn't mean that it's always available. There still might be a waiting list and you might have to wait in line, just like if you put a hold on a physical paper book. So right now, they actually have a special feature where you can read. There are infinity copies, as many copies as possible, for the first book in the Harry Potter series. So even if 3,000 people want to read it at the same time, they can. That's not always the case. So I'm just going to click on it to show you how you would do a basic checkout. So once you find a book you like, you just click on it. Kind of see me clicking it there. And then all you have to do is click where it says borrow. And everybody has 30 loans available. Right now, I do not have any other books checked out. So it says 0 of 30. So you can check out up to 30 books at once. You can also put holds on 15 books. Unfortunately, you can see I've maxed out all of my holds. So I do have 15 books on hold already, and I'll show you the holds in a moment. But right now, I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you borrow a book. So I went ahead and clicked borrow. Now, you have a couple of options. You can read the book immediately. You can also read with Kindle. I do happen to have a Kindle and enjoy reading with my Kindle, so I will sometimes click read with Kindle. But you can also go to the shelf. So I'm going to go to the shelf. Okay. Right now I'm on my hold shelf. I'm going to go to my loans shelf, and there it is. When I click manage loan, I can go ahead and read, and it will ask me if I want to read with Kindle or with Libby, and you can say I want to read it with Libby. So you can read it straight from the Libby app if you do not have a Kindle, and it's doing that right now. It's opening it up, and all you have to do is, just like a book, you would swipe side to side, and the pages will appear on your screen. One thing is you can click on the, usually you can click on the, I don't know if it's clickable. Actually, this one's not clickable. So it's going to show me the table of contents and start with the very first chapter. Once I've decided I'm done reading, I can just tap anywhere on the page, and you'll see that there are some options that appear at the top, including this back button. You can also search for a word within the book. You can also click the three, we call that the hamburger menu, the 3 lines that are on top of each other, and that will allow us to skip to specific chapters. And you can also bookmark pages to return to later. So that's how you would read with one of the books. And what I like about Libby too, it will tell you exactly how many days you have left. So you'll always know this book, I have 3 weeks every time I check out an ebook. The other thing I like about ebooks is that there'll never be any late fines. So you don't have to remember to return your books. If you finish it early, you can return it early, but you don't have to if you don't want to. It will just automatically disappear after the 21 days is over. So now I'm going to go back to the library, to the main page. So the other thing you can do from the main page is if you have a particular book you want to search, you can search for it here. It will keep a record of all the different things. You get to see what I've searched for most recently. These are my previous searches. So you can search for, let's see. This time I'm going to search for Harry Potter. And it's already trying to figure out what I'm searching for. So I'm going to search for the second one. Say I finished the first one, now I want to read the second one. Now in this case, these books aren't freely available all of the time. So if I want to read one of these, I'm going to have to place a hold. Right now, unfortunately, the audiobook hold is quite long. If you want to see exactly how long, you can click the little calendar and it will pop up and it will tell you exactly how long. Of course, it's making just a guess. It doesn't really know for sure because some people might finish faster and return it early. But if everybody keeps it for their whole 3 weeks, and I put a hold on now, 24 weeks I'll have to wait. Right now, a lot of our ebooks and audiobooks are very popular because people are discovering reading from home now that they can't come into the library. Excuse me. So, one of the features you might want to explore are available books. What is available now? Oh, look, this one's even telling me this is on my hold shelf. I could borrow it now. So these are all of the available books that are available right now. So you can scroll through and find something that someone hasn't already checked out. So that's a great feature if you're just looking for something and don't want to wait in a line. There's also available audiobooks. Those work in a very similar way. So if you borrow one, let's see if I say open audiobook, it lets you play it right from the app.
In August 1944, the historic walled city of Sun.
You can use this part to skip ahead in the book, this part. It's really handy. I enjoy listening to a lot of ebooks on my commute by connecting it to my car radio. So that's how I use audiobooks. Okay, so I'll pause now and see if anybody has any questions. Oh, I think I see Judy has a question.
Yeah. So could you review, how do you get to the audiobooks? How do you get to the audiobook?
Sure, it's just the same.
Same.
Let me show you again by sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just the same. If you search for a title, let's try Harry Potter again.
Okay.
It will show you both the audiobook and the regular book. The way you tell the difference is, do you see this little audio icon? It looks like a little headphone right below the picture, and it says the word audio.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's
That little
the
right
audiobook.
there underneath.
Yes.
Yeah. The little earplugs.
So is the ebook. And almost always,
Oh.
I find that the audiobooks have a longer waiting list.
Oh.
So you'll see the audiobook is the one that with the 24 weeks. The book itself, only 11 weeks. And I think Harry Potter has a long waiting list for the second and rest of the series because the first book is available for everybody right now. So people are getting back into reading Harry Potter. Okay, were there any other questions in the chat?
I have a Hoopla app in my cell phone, okay, but not the library app. You recommend that it is better I install also the library app in my cell phone. It is easy to go from the app to the library and choose the ebook or audiobook. No, we
That's
can go from the Google, and which one is better?
So you can access the library on in multiple ways. You can, from your browser, you can go to the library's website using any browser. And everything I'm talking about, you know, in terms of you can still search for a book using the website. But we also recently created a new app. The old one was not very good. I will tell you that. The new one is much better. Oops, it's telling you to go to that information. So the new one is much better. It's easier to quickly go straight to eMedia. You could go straight to Libby, RB Digital, or Hoopla. And it will actually open up and let you download the app from there, or open the app and it'll go straight back to the app. Or if you want, from the LAPL app, you can also get into your account and you can renew your books there. That's the main thing I use this app for, is renewing my books. You can see it's a very streamlined version. So if you prefer, you could download the library's app and use that. But you can also do it online using your browser. Either way is fine. It's basically whatever is your preference. So Amy said she placed a hold on all of the Harry Potter audiobooks the first week that we had to stay at home, and she's still waiting. She has 2 to 4 weeks left of being on the waiting list. And I say to Amy, I feel your pain. My son is trying to read them all right now too. We had to get some paperback books for him because he just couldn't wait anymore. we were willing to do that for him this time, but he really wants to listen to the audiobooks because the audiobooks are amazing if you've never listened to them. Are there any other questions, Karen? Are you seeing any questions or?
I find this one, yes, this app.
Okay.
This app, yes.
So yes, you can, so this is the Libby app. And again, if you want to download it, you can go to our website or you can search for it in your app store. Let me see, in the app store.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes, I know.
And it's free, of course, it's free. And
Public library.
the first time you do go in, you will have to give it your library card number.
Yes. So you mean public library or LA Public Library?
The Los Angeles Public Library. Now I will show you, as long as you promise not to tell anybody, you guys. So it's our secret. Look, I actually have 2 other library cards listed in my Libby app. So you can add as many different library cards as you have. So I also have an LA County library card and a Pasadena Glendale Public Library card. Although I will tell you, LA Public Library has more ebooks than any of the other ones that I belong to. So I most of the time keep it on LA Public Library. But if there's a book I can't find there, I might try searching for LA County or Pasadena Glendale. But I mean, 9 times out of 10, if not more, I have better luck with LA Public Library.
Okay, thank you.
But you can add as many cards as you have. That's up to you. Oh, someone thought they were the only one. No, I think most librarians will, if asked, will be forced to admit that we are as much of a library junkie as the rest of you and tend to have many, many library cards, as many as they'll give us in our wallet. So no shame. We're not in competition. We all work together. I just want to make everything as available to all of you as possible. But I will say we have pride at LAPL and say we do have one of the best, if not the best, ebook selection in the country, if certainly not in the area. So definitely worth checking it out. Are there any other questions about using Libby on your phone?
No, thank you. I haven't.
I think I see somebody raising their hand, so I've unmuted you.
I have this library card. I don't know how to use it.
So you have that's the library card we're talking about today. So if you go to download this app, the first time you log into it, it will ask you to put that long number from the back of your library card. That's your library card number and your PIN, which is usually the last 4 digits of your phone number. Then when you get into the app, you can use that library card to check out up to 30 titles at once. Then you can read the books on your phone. It's great because you can also get kids' books on here. There's a great selection of children's materials. So one of the things you can do is you can add, I didn't show you guys this, but you can add preferences. And you can check out what we have in different languages. So there are also other language books if you want to read another language. Formats, you can check out, you can look just at audiobooks or books. But you can also, and I do this sometimes because I have a child, is I will limit it by audience. I will say, just show me juvenile, so just kids' books. Okay. And I will say, just show me kids' books that are available now. You know, and it will, it'll show me that when I click explore. There's all sorts of guides. You can see different materials in other languages. So there is a lot to explore and a lot you can do with your card on this app. So I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. If you're working with a tutor right now, this is something you guys can practice during your tutoring sessions. Or if you have questions, you can follow up and ask us, ask your literacy coordinator, or as I mentioned, wanted to show you back on here. Again, there is a place you can go and email to ask a librarian. And I can tell you most of the questions they are getting right now is about apps and how to use them to get books. So you can also check out the frequently asked questions. They have some information here. But you can also email directly to a librarian. So whatever you feel comfortable doing. And if you guys are interested, I can also show you the Hoopla app. Are you guys interested in seeing the Hoopla app? This would be more for music and movies. Okay, so let me show you. Let's see. So the other app I wanted to show you today is Hoopla. So you can also get this from the App Store. And it's also, again, linked from that page I showed you. Hoopla is, you can borrow, it's a little different. It's not how many titles you can have at the same time. It's you have 15 credits every month. So you can borrow up to 15 movies every month. You can see these are, or music albums. You can see these are some of the things I've checked out in the past. So I kept a record of them. So I have some family movies that I've checked out. I don't even remember checking some of these out. It was so long ago. Oh my goodness. And then some music. So those are things I've borrowed in the past. So you can browse videos, browse music, and Hoopla also does have books. So it's another place you can go to look for books. So let's see, let's browse a video. So it's a lot like if you've seen things like Netflix before, only the nice thing is this is totally free. You can check out up to 15 titles per month. And there's a mixture of children's movies, teen movies, and movies for adults. So like Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. That's definitely for little kids. Something like Ella Enchanted, probably great for tweens. So there's a pretty good mix. Oh, look, The Librarian, Quest for the Spear. I'm sure that's very realistic about what it's like to work in a library, you guys. Okay, so that's Hoopla. And it also has a toggle at the top. You can see, you can toggle between movies and television. So if you prefer watching shorter episodes of a television show, there are a lot of options in there too. Look at entire season 2 of SpongeBob SquarePants, if you have a SpongeBob SquarePants fan in your house. So there are a lot of good options. You can also browse by genre. So now we're browsing, let's see. If you do have a kid, you want to browse animation and cartoons. These are all television shows that are animated cartoons. There's quite a lot of options. And then you'll see at the bottom, as well as at the top, there's the little icons. So right now I'm at home. There's also video, music, and books. So you can use those features at the bottom, and you can also search for a title. And it has some suggestions if you're not sure where to start. So there's also a lot of good music. So Frozen 2 soundtrack, that's pretty recent. They have movie soundtracks, all sorts of options. So if you don't want to do something like pay for an Amazon Music subscription, you can go here and check these out and see.
Kelly, it is 15 per card, not 15 per household, correct?
I believe it's 15 per card, you know, per, I don't know if you can load more than one card on here. So when you start a Hoopla account, it will ask you to tie it to an email. So you will have to put in an email address and you'll have to pick a password. But it will be connected to your library card. So it's 15 titles this month. And then once you reset with a new month, you get another 15 credits. So that's Hoopla, a little bit different than the others. Oh, look, there's Harry Potter again. It's also available here. Oh, maybe I should have looked and seen, let's see. Just out of curiosity, I wonder if Harry Potter, the audiobook here has a shorter waiting list, I wonder. Oh, it doesn't have the audiobook. So sometimes you'll win, sometimes you don't. I don't know. I think the selection at Libby is a lot better for books, but you just never know what you might get. So it's worth checking here too if there's a waiting list over on Libby. I think fewer people know about Hoopla, especially for books and audiobooks. So does anybody have any questions about using Hoopla? You can raise your hand or type it into the chat, whatever you're comfortable doing. We'll make sure you're unmuted if you want to ask your question. Yeah, Karen has a very good point. She says you don't have to worry about downloading from an unreliable source. Yes, everything that you connect to from the library's website, all of those that are on that list are trusted sources, and these are the real books. And we've paid for you to have access to them.
So these are only, you can do this on your phone only?
You can
Or
on any device, like you can do it on a tablet. So if you have an iPad or a Fire tablet, you can do
a
it.
laptop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How is this different from Canopy? That's the other one for movies. Canopy is
Oh, yeah.
for
Want me
movies?
to, let me see if I have, I don't know if I have Canopy downloaded right now. Let me
Oh,
search.
but that's because I have the Canopy and I was gonna go on there and watch on my laptop, but you could do it here too. Okay.
Yeah, so Canopy is just another option.
Okay.
I don't have it set up, but Canopy is another okay, I'm not going to do that now. So I haven't created a login. So this is exactly, maybe I should go back and go slower. So if this is our first time, this is a very similar setup to most of our apps. The very first time you get in, you'll have to create a login or get started. And you'll want to connect it with your library card. It'll ask you to find your library. Oh my gosh, there's so many. It'll list a lot of the branches. It doesn't really matter which branch you choose. It's all part of the same system. I'm not going to add my library card right now because I would have to dig it out. I don't ever seem to be able to memorize it. So you would type in your library card number and your PIN. But let me show you what it says on our website. So again, going back, let's see, going back to our main page, under movies, TV, and video, you'll see that Canopy is listed there. So the main difference is Overdrive and Libby have ebooks and audiobooks. Canopy does not. So it's more for if you want to stream movies, TV, and video. So it's more similar to Hoopla, which we also showed you. So the list here kind of collects everything and organizes it by topic. So ebooks, audiobooks, and comics. Overdrive is also listed under movies, TVs, and video. The Canopy, let me click here. So it just says Canopy is a video streaming platform with one of the largest collections in the world. They're even bigger than Netflix. They have over 30,000 feature films and documentaries, including, if you know what Criterion movies are, the Criterion Collection is wonderful. Great courses, people love that. If you want to learn about different topics, you know, Lorber, BBC, and more. So it's just another app you can download and connect to with your library card. So if this has piqued your interest, I definitely recommend you go and check it out. So Canopy, Hoopla, Libby, and of course you'll see others here. We don't have enough time to cover everything, but you can definitely explore them. I also suggest if you're really interested in music, to go ahead and check out Freegal. What makes Freegal especially awesome is that you can download up to 5 music tracks per week, and they never disappear from your computer. So that means you always get to keep that music no matter what happens. Even if you're no longer with the Los Angeles Public Library, you get to keep those MP3s on your computer or your device forever. So that's what makes Freegal a little bit special. And again, they have an iOS app and an Android app. So Freegal is a little bit different, but if you're a music person and you love music, Freegal is really cool. The other really neat thing about Freegal is that there are curated lists of music. So if you want to go on there and check it out, you can see what different librarians have put together. So there are suggested mixtapes. So if you miss the time when people used to put mixtapes together for each other, you can go and check out other people's mixtapes. So here's a Mother's Day playlist with 79 songs. So there's a lot available. So really, I think checking out books, music, and movies is sort of the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot to explore. Hope you guys, this has gotten you guys to be a little bit interested in what the library has available, and that you would want to maybe practice this either with a learner or a tutor that you work with. So this is something that you can definitely take advantage of while you're at home, something to keep you entertained, whether it's movies, music, or books, or audiobooks. There's something for everybody. So I'll take a pause again and see if anybody has any other questions or suggestions for things we can look at. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is something that you would like to try doing in a tutoring or in a tutoring session in the future? Some of this? Good. I see at least one thumbs up out there. I mean, it's something you can try on your own too. Almost nothing you can do to mess something up. So you can try downloading some of these apps, searching for them again. And all you have to do is go to your app store. You can search for Libby and Hoopla and Canopy. These are all free. So you don't have to give them any money just to download them and try them out. And let us know what you think.
Real, may I have a question?
Yes, you have a question?
Yes. Not about this. I want to know how can I write in screen to you? For example, I want to write my email in screen that you see, or to write some message that everybody and you also see on your screen. How can do that? I use my iPad, you know. I don't know how I can write that, you know.
Well, we do have in our Zoom meeting, we have chat. And at the very bottom of your Zoom screen, you should see a bubble that looks like text, a chat bubble, and it says the word chat. And if you click that, it should open a screen that will let you type in a message to the group.
Okay. Tina.
And also, it's a good thing you have your video enabled. You can also raise your hand and we'll unmute you, and you can always ask a question that way. And I saw someone has a hand raised. I don't know if that's on purpose or not. Let's see. Let's unmute and see. Did you have a question? It doesn't list your name. It just says iPhone. Oh, I'm unable to unmute you. You would have to unmute yourself. If you aren't sure how to mute or unmute yourself, you can do that by hovering on the picture, and there should be a button for unmuting. Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my question's about my library card. And I know you weren't going to get into it, but could you tell me where's a good place to go? It says, I know you talked about Ask a Librarian.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the best place for me to go to help figure out my problem with my library card?
Yes, if you have an issue with your library card, unfortunately, we can't help you with that here because we don't have access to the database. But the librarians working at the Ask a Librarian service do. So if you have some sort of issue, they might be able to figure out with you what's going on.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was my question. Thank you.
Good question. Oh, Faye says that she's glad that she watches movies daily with her husband. So hopefully we can encourage Faye. Maybe you can try out Canopy and see if you like Canopy or Hoopla. Let us know what you think of those two options.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi. I was wondering if there was another session on the part of the LAPL website that has all the literacy links and resources, because I used to use them for teaching those classes at the Central Library. And if this is a good chance to, to go over them. I wouldn't mind taking a refresher course from someone because there's a
ببین
bunch
آزاد شد.
under the literacy tab or the old website. I don't know what the website looks like now, but it used to be lapl.org/literacy.
Yeah, that's still our website. So I'll write down that idea and make sure it gets to our volunteer committee, because I know that they are working on ideas for things specifically for volunteers. So we'll let them know that we've had a request to go over some of the resources on our website. So we did a while ago redesign our website to try to make it a little easier for you to find resources. I can briefly show you what that looks like right now. It is still lapl.org/literacy. Let me go ahead and share my screen briefly. So actually, this is a good opportunity to show you, if you weren't able to come to some of our other webinars, this is our 4th Thursday webinar. So the other 3 are here on our website, so you can click on those to watch those recordings. And then up at the top, we do have different tabs. So we have Becoming a Learner, Becoming a Volunteer. If you're here, you've already done one of those 2 things, I think. Our locations, and then our resources. It's probably what you're talking about. Under resources, we've now organized under a couple different things. Volunteer Toolbox, this is all volunteer resources. Resources for learning English. Resources for families, so those would be learners who have children anywhere from 0 to 18 at this point. Resources specifically for our roles and goals, and then websites that we recommend. So you're definitely welcome to explore that website as much as you'd like. We do go through the websites and all these materials every once in a while to make sure they're all updated. But if you want more in-depth information, we'll definitely let our volunteer team know so that they can consider putting together something specifically for volunteers about what resources are available on our website.
Okay, I appreciate that. That's perfect. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, and Faye had another suggestion about watching movies specifically with students. This is a great idea, especially for people who might be struggling to meet and do what they typically do. You know, when we're all working virtually, you could certainly both try to check out the same movie, watch it, and then have a discussion over the phone. Why not? If there are learners who are not able to connect via Zoom, because we know we have a lot of people with technology barriers right now. So that's really an awesome idea. Thank you for sharing that, Faye. So we have just another 5 minutes or so. If you guys think of any other questions, or if you have suggestions for other webinars, please let us know. I wanted to let you know that we are going to take a break next week. So we won't have a webinar at this time next week, but we will return the week after that. Our plan is to have a series of 4 additional new webinars, and our next series will focus on roles and goals. So this will be ways that learners specifically, and volunteers too, but we'll focus on learners especially. What are things you can do to help you achieve your roles and goals, whether you're meeting with a tutor or not, while the libraries are closed. So we'll have some suggestions and ideas. We might do some more exploring of the website and different resources you can access with your library card. So hopefully you guys will join us another 2 weeks as we start that next series. Yeah, and someone had commented, a lot of learners in my former group don't have tech skills to hop onto Zoom, etc. The other thing we're working on or thinking about trying to do is sending out some links with some basic instructions for how to use Zoom. We know that there are other technologies too that might be accessible for one-on-one pairs, so they're welcome to use other technology platforms. If they aren't able to use Zoom, they can also come and hopefully view some of those webinars once they're posted, because at that point they're just a video, so it's much easier to view. So that's another suggestion for learners if they're not able to join us live. They are certainly welcome to watch those videos after they're posted. Okay, so Faye's comment is roles and goals do not include the more refined capabilities that advanced language students can participate in. So we believe every student or every learner in our program should have at least one goal that they are working on that they've set themselves. So that can be put into the other category if they feel like they aren't needing to fit into one of the defined categories. So I'm trying to think of a good example. But typically, I feel like typically most students have at least one role and goal they can fit into regardless of their level. Like some of the goals are more related to citizenship. I don't mean becoming a citizen, but just citizenship or being a community member. So for example, wanting to volunteer, things like that. So it just really depends on the individual student, but certainly we encourage you to use the other categories if you feel like there's not a role and goal that specifically fits with the current level of the student or the current interests of the student. So hopefully that helps. And Faye said, oh, what about a writing challenge for students? Yes, so a lot of you have probably participated in the yearly writer to writer competition that we do. So we'll be hopefully having that again this year. Unfortunately, the conference that we get together and celebrate our winners was postponed this year. But we're hoping to have another writing competition. And then there's been some discussion at the state level about having a statewide competition, or not necessarily competition, but just project, to allow students to contribute stories, perhaps related to the COVID-19 pandemic. So definitely, if you have a student who's interested in writing, keep them going, keep them writing. We'll do what we can also to encourage them to keep writing. So if that's something that you guys are doing already, definitely encourage you to keep going. We'll also be hopefully making some additional materials available. If you are a one-on-one pair or one-on-one tutor who's here today, we'll try our best to make some additional materials available to you. And we know it's hard because you can't really do as much if you can't see the material that the learners are seeing. So. Okay. Well, I thank you again today for joining us. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any other suggestions today or at a later date, always feel free to email us at literacy@lapl.org if you have suggestions for other webinars or other, even if they are materials that we can send you by email, we'll do that too. Anything else that you're interested in learning about or doing, especially during this period while we're all at home for the pandemic. And I wish you all the best of luck and stay in good health. And we'll see you again here at the same time in 2 weeks.